Right, so in this video I would like to tell you why I actually use Bohemicus for my everyday translation work. So first of all, let's talk about Bohemicus itself. What is it and how it actually works? So Bohemicus is a special piece of software which we have right here. And it's meant for translators and also for writers, and it can really greatly improve your translation or writing productivity. So the main idea of Bohemicus is this. Usually it runs just in the background, so you can just minimize it like this. And then you go back to your main application, which might be a CAD tool, like we have here this SDL Studio, or it can be any other CAD tool, for instance this WordFast, which we have here, or it can be even an online CAD tool, which we have right here. This is the Smart CAD, or it can be just any other application. So, for instance, Microsoft Word, which we have here. But now, back to our SDL Studio. So let's say you are working in this SDL Studio, and now the core idea of Bohemicus is this. You keep working in your SDL Studio, and now you press a hotkey. So for instance, we would like to use the machine translation feature of Bohemicus. So it means I now press the Ctrl plus space hotkey, like this. And as you can see, it will instantly translate my segment into the target language, which is Czech right now. We can use another one. Again, instantly translated, machine translated into Czech. But, well, now you might ask me, but Jan, why are you using Bohemicus for this when you have this nice SDL Studio machine translation plugin built into SDL Studio? So, well, first of all, with Bohemicus, it's very quick and instantaneous. You don't need to set up anything in your project settings. And also, Bohemicus does not leave any trace. It does not leave any machine translation marks. Because maybe, perhaps you know that if you use this plugin, machine translation plugin directly in SDL Studio, it will always leave these machine translation marks. And you might not want this, so this is why you might want to use Bohemicus. And you can use this feature anywhere. So for instance, if you go to our WordFast right here, so we can use it even here. So you just press Ctrl plus space, and it will machine translate your segment instantly. Or you can even use it in online CAD tools, for instance in this Smart CAD. So you just press Ctrl plus in this case Alt plus space, and it will translate your selected portion of text. And of course you can use it also in, for instance, Microsoft Word. So you just select the text you would like to translate, you press Ctrl plus Alt plus space, and it gets instantly translated. So this is the first feature. But now the second feature I use really very intensively every day in my translation practice. And the second feature is the speech-to-text or voice dictation, if you will. It works very straightforward. And you need to use your Android phone for this. So let me launch my Bohemicus application in my Android phone, which is right now laying right next to my keyboard. So I'm launching Bohemicus for Android right now, and as you can see, it will almost instantly connect to Windows, and it will show this confirmation message. And now, if I want to use the speech-to-text feature, I just press on my PC keyboard, I just press the tilde key, and I can start dictating. So I'm going to dictate in Czech, so don't be scared if you hear some obscure language. This is just to illustrate my point. But you can use Bohemicus in more than 100 languages for this. That's for machine translation and also for speech-to-text. Right, but now let's try to dictate something. So I'm pressing the tilde key and dictating the translation. Pokud je rychlovarná konvice spuštěna, čárka, nenechávejte ji bez dozoru. And as you can see, the converted text is inserted into our SDO Studio. This of course works anywhere, so for instance we can try it also in WordFast. So for instance you can translate this segment using the speech-to-text feature. Rychlovarná konvice je navržena pro domácí použití a pro použití na podobných místech. Čárka například. And as you can see, again, it's got inserted into our target application, which is WordFast in this case. Of course, it works also in online tools. So for instance, we can translate something in this SmartCat, maybe some short segment. Yes, this one. Naplňte konvici požadovaným množstvím vody. As you can see, it works pretty nicely. And of course, you can use it also in Microsoft Word, no problem. So for instance, we can dictate right here in this place. Děti si s tímto spotřebičem nesmějí hrát. Again, as you can see, it works really nicely. And as I have said, you can use it in any language that is supported by Google Android. Also, machine translation works with more than 100 languages, and you can set your languages right here. As you can see, there's a whole host of languages. So you just need to select your source and your target language. Right, so the next feature I would like to show you is a very comfortable and very convenient and fast search in my connected offline and also online dictionaries, bilingual dictionaries, and also in my translation memories. So as you can see, I have my cat tool, just like usual. This is the SDL Studio right here. But also I have some dictionaries. So this is dictionary number 1 and dictionary number 2. So let me just minimize them to the taskbar. Also, as you can see, I have Bohemicus running right here. With my translation memories opened right here, and also with my online dictionary connected right here. So I can minimize it now to the taskbar too, and let's just continue working in our SDL Studio. And now, for instance, I would like to look up this term, this electric kettle. So I can just select it, and now I press the dedicated hotkey combo, which is in this case Ctrl plus Alt plus K. And as you can see, when I press it, it will just show up all windows with my electric kettle looked up in my dictionary. So as you can see, it's in dictionary number 1, in dictionary number 2. It's also translated by Google Translate here and by my memory right here. And it's also, I can see, partially looked up in my online dictionary. Maybe it's better if we just look up the term kettle, only kettle, so that you can see how it works. So again, Ctrl plus Alt plus K. And as you can see, kettle is nicely looked up in both dictionaries, also in my translation memory this time, and also in my online dictionary. And I can show you that this actually works everywhere, so you can look it up, for instance, in WordFast. Again, you just select your term. It's kitchen right now, so let's select it, and just press Ctrl plus Alt plus K to look up this term in all my connected dictionaries, here, in my translation memories, and also in my online dictionary. As you can see, I can show you it works very well also in online tools, for instance in this SmartCat. So we can, what we can look up this time, maybe water. We look up water. So I select this term water and I just press Ctrl plus Alt plus K again. And as you can see, it will look it up in all my dictionaries, in my translation memory, and also in my online dictionary. Also, this is very interesting. it will look it up also in your target language in your translation memory. So as you can see, the target language here is Czech, but if it contains this term, so in this case water, it will also look it up in my target language. So in source as well as in target language. Right. But the next feature, I think the fourth feature I would like to show you is a very quick and convenient Googling. So let's go back to, I don't know, maybe WordFast. And we would like to look up something. So let's say, again, we would like to look up this electric kettle again. So I just select it and I press this time Ctrl plus Alt plus G, like Google. So Ctrl plus Alt plus G. And as you can see, it will instantly look up my term on Google. You can just read it here, you can see some pictures. And this again works everywhere, so I don't know, maybe in this SmartCat we could look up something, what we have here, for instance, stainless steel. We can look up stainless steel from SmartCat, so I just select it and I press Ctrl plus Alt plus G. So as you can see, it gets instantly looked up on Google. Also, if you don't like looking it up on Google, you can very easily change it here. There are a couple of search engines. So if you prefer, for instance, DuckDuckGo, you can just select it here. And you can look something up again. So for instance, maybe, I don't know, electric circuit on DuckDuckGo. And as you can see, it's been looked up on DuckDuckGo. Here we have the next feature of Bohemicus, which is note-taking. So note-taking is very important because sometimes you don't know right now how to translate something, or you would like to make sure it's consistent with the rest of the text, so you need to make some note of it. And for this we have this very nice note-taking feature. And it works as follows. You just select whatever you need. You just select it like this, and you press Ctrl plus Alt plus Shift plus N. And as you can see, it will instantly transfer to our note-taking tab. Yes, I know this is very clumsy keyboard combo, but it's designed in such a way so it does not collide with other applications in your system. So as you can see, this works everywhere. So I could go, for instance, to Microsoft Word, and I can just, I don't know, select maybe this. And again, I press Ctrl plus Alt plus Shift plus N, and it gets again transferred to our note-taking feature, note-taking tab. And here I can make even some modifications or adjustments. So for instance, I can make some portions of my text bold, italics, or underlined, or I can even add something. And so on and so on. I can add the check mark if I want to. I can even find my terms. So for instance, this one, as you can see, it will find it. So this is yet another feature you can use. I like very much using Bohemicus for this because, of course, for instance, in SDL Studio, you can make notes directly in SDL Studio, or at least I believe you can. You can do it in some tools. I believe you can do it in SDL Studio as well. But what I like about Bohemicus is that I can have a very nice list of my notes right here. I can copy it out. I can send it per email. So it's generally, for me, it's easier to work with these notes in my Bohemicus application. Okay, yet another feature of Bohemicus I use almost every day in my translation work, and this is the file transfer. I mean, a large files transfer. So for instance, as you can see, here we have a couple of files, and I have selected this one, presentation 2. And as you can see, it has some almost 100 megabytes. So of course this will be really too big to send per an email. So what I can do is to use Bohemicus to transfer this file to the Bohemicus server, and I just get a download link, and I can send this download link to my partner, and my partner can then download the files from the Bohemicus server. So it works very conveniently. You can just click your file, and you right click on it, and you just select send through the Bohemicus server, which is right here. And if you click it, it will show this window, and now you just wait a couple of seconds, and it will copy your file to the Bohemicus server, and also a link to this file will be copied to your clipboard. So now you can go and you can write an email to your partner. So for instance, like here, so you write your text, and you can just now paste the link from the clipboard into your email. So I just press Ctrl+V, and I paste the link to my email. You can just sign it, and you can just send it. And your partner, when they go now to their email, so for instance I have this example email right here, they will get your link. So if they click it, so they click this link, a download screen will appear where they can click the file and they can just download it. So as you can see, it will be now nicely downloaded. Yeah, so of course there are a whole host of other services that work in this way. So what I like about Bohemicus is the fact that you can actually upload your own logo to be displayed on the screen when your partner downloads the files. So in this case, it's my logo of my translation services. And also you can add your custom message. So you can change this message right here. Also, it works a little bit faster than the competitors' services, which I like. So this is how the large file transfer feature of Bohemicus works. What I also use quite often is the unit conversion. So as you can see, I have here some sentences with the imperial units in them, and it would be nice to have a feature that got nicely converted very quickly and conveniently, and that feature is just Bohemicus. So let me just go to Bohemicus and set it up a little bit. So as you can see, the first sentence is conversion from miles. So I would like to convert these miles to kilometers. So I can set it up right here. So from miles into kilometers. Then the next sentence is temperature, so that's already set up from Fahrenheit to Celsius. And the last one, we would like to convert from inches, so let's say into centimeters. So that should be somewhere here. Here, inch centimeters. Now, well, so now it's stored under our hotkeys. So this will be Ctrl+Alt+F6. This one is Ctrl+Alt+F7, and the last one is Ctrl+Alt+F8. So I can just go back to my text, and I can select the portion of text I would like to convert. So this is now the 5.3 miles, and I would like to convert this into kilometers. So let's just press Ctrl+Alt+F6, and let's see what happens. And as you can see, it gets instantly converted. So the next one is the temperature, so Ctrl+Alt+F7. Sorry, just the temperature, Ctrl+Alt+F7. So it's into Celsius, and the last one is the inches into, I think, centimeters. Yes, we have set up centimeters. So as you can see, it's been converted. And I can put it back right now to just show you some more settings. I can also set up the rounding. So I would like to have it rounded up to, I think, 1 decimal will be enough. So I can just select 1 decimal. And as you can see, I have also set to include metric or imperial units after conversion. That's also important to me. So I can now show you that it will use only 1 decimal to round the result up. So as you can see, I can again convert everything to our target units with just 1 decimal. Good. So another nice feature is quotation marks. So you might happen to know that every language uses a different set of quotation marks. So for instance, the Americans, they use these standard quotation marks. I have them right here. But unfortunately, if you try to write out Czech quotation marks on our Czech keyboard, it will just write these American quotation marks, which are incorrect in Czech. So it would be nice to have a feature that can actually convert them or write them right on the fly. And for this, I use also Bohemicus. So this we have right here. And as you can see, I can convert our US quotation marks into our Czech quotation marks. These are Czech quotation marks right here. And I can just write quotation marks just like usual. So I press the quotation mark key. And as you can see, it will write our Czech quotation marks. Well, you can set up whatever quotation marks you need. So for instance, let's say you are French, so you would like to have French quotation marks. So I can set them here, like this. And I can just start writing. I just press the quotation mark key, and as you can see, it will replace the quotation mark right on the fly. And of course, it goes without saying that this works just about everywhere. So I could go just, for instance, to WordFast, and it will write my quotation marks also here. Or I can go to even online tools. So as you can see, if I go to our online tool, it will also write these French quotation marks right here. Next. And this is yet another thing I use every day when working with Bohemicus, and that's the Clipboard Manager. So first of all, let me explain what a Clipboard Manager actually is. So, long story short, a Clipboard Manager is just a Windows clipboard on steroids. So let me show you an example. As you can see, here we have some text, and you can also see that we have some strings that repeat quite often in this text. So for instance, we have this power chord, it's here, and we have it here, then we have it, for instance, here, and so on. Then we have another string which repeats very often, that's the electric kettle. So as you can see, it's here, and it's, for instance, here, and so on. And then we have also this power socket, which is right here, and here, and so on again. So the idea is, wouldn't it be nice if we could just store these repeating strings into memory and then reuse them just by pressing a hotkey? And that's exactly what Bohemicus does. So for instance, let's start with this power chord, and let's store it into memory. So for this, I just press Ctrl plus Alt plus Shift plus 1, like this. And as you can see, it's been stored into memory. And also, when I now press the Control key, you can see that our string power chord is stored in the memory bank number 1. Right, so let's do the very same thing with this electric kettle. So now we would like to store this into memory bank number 2. So I just press Ctrl plus Alt plus Shift plus 2 this time. And again, we have this confirmation message. It's been stored into memory bank number 2. And now when I press the Ctrl key, I can see it's in memory bank number 2. And also we can store into memory this power socket. So this we have right here. So I press Ctrl plus Alt plus Shift plus 3. And it's stored in memory bank number 3. So as you can see, I have 10 memory banks available in total. But in this example, I will just be using this first 3 memory banks. So these strings are now stored into memory. And now, when I continue writing my text, I can reinsert them into my text anytime by just pressing a hotkey. So for instance, if I want to insert the string from memory bank number 1, I just press Ctrl plus 1. And as you can see, I can very easily and quickly paste it into my text. Same with memory bank number 2, this one, or number 3, like this one. And as you can see, this can be immensely useful when you have text with lots of repeating strings. These can be, for instance, company names, or these can be some items from your spare part lists, whatever things you have that repeat very often in your text. And of course, this works everywhere, so I could go to my SmartCat online tool and I could paste it here as well. So all 3 things I could paste here, or I could go to, I don't know, maybe Woodfast, and I could paste it here also, no problem. So as you can see, this is yet another feature that's very useful. And I like using Bohemicus for this because I like very much the idea that when I press the Control key, I can see what's stored where. And also, I can always very, very easily store my strings into memory by just pressing a hotkey and then retrieve it from memory and paste it into my text also by just pressing a hotkey. And this is the very last thing I'm going to show you today, and that's the case change. So I can change very easily from lowercase to uppercase or vice versa. And well, let's get into it. So as you can see, I can change the case of this whole sentence by just pressing a hotkey. So if I press Alt plus Home, it will immediately change it to uppercase. If I press Alt plus End, it will change it to lowercase. And also, and that is something I like very, very much, and you can change only the very first letter of your sentence or of your segment to lowercase or to uppercase. So if I now press Ctrl plus Alt plus page up, it will change the very first letter to uppercase. And also I can press Ctrl plus Alt plus page down to change it to lowercase. As you can see, this works very nicely. And again, it works everywhere. So if I go, for instance, to Woodfast, it will work here as well. So for instance, I want to change also only the very first letter to lowercase. So Ctrl plus Alt plus page down, back to uppercase, so Ctrl plus Alt plus page up. Or I want to change everything to uppercase, so Alt plus Home, or everything to lowercase, so Alt plus End. Also, it will work in, for instance, SmartCat. Again, I can change the case, no problem, or only the first letter, no problem. It works everywhere. I like this very much because it just works with one hotkey. So for instance, you could do something like this in SDL Studio by pressing the Shift plus F3. But for this, you need to select all text, and then you press Shift plus F3. And as you can see, it will circle between various options. So in this case, it will change all the words to, all the first letters of all words to uppercase, which is something that I don't really have any use for in Czech. We don't use the words capitalized like this. And you need to circle through this, which is really sometimes annoying. I just want one one hotkey combo to make it all uppercase or to make it all lowercase or just the very first letter. And for this, that's why I use Bohemicus.